It's happened again, a new year of Ultimate Team, and yet people are making the exact same mistakes as what they did last year. So in today's video, we're going to be going through common mistakes that you must avoid when starting EAFC. The first mistake is not paying attention to today's video sponsor, U4GM. U4GM offers cheap, fast and reliable EAFC coins so that you don't need to grind out Ultimate Team, and in some cases you could actually go through some of these mistakes without worrying about it costing too much. Simply use the link in the description down below, select what platform you play on, how many coins you would like, and to make this deal even better, you can now go to checkout and use code Fanatic to get a 10% discount. So if you're interested, there is a link in the description down below. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. The mistakes that we're going to be going through are stuff that's pretty basic, but it's the basic stuff that you need to get done correctly in order for you to build up tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of coins. So firstly, overplaying game modes. There is a limit for each and every single game mode. Some, there is a physical limit in that you cannot access them until the right time has come round. But others will allow you to keep on playing continuously even if it's not worth doing so. So for example, for you to max out division rivals, you need to win either 3 or 7 games. The second that you get to 7, there's no real reason to carry on playing unless you're needing the qualification points, which is 1,250. If you have already achieved the qualification points for that week, that's where you need to go into the Champions Playoff. Yet again, this one does have a limit in that you can access it, you can build up, but the second that you get that qualification token, you need to wait for the Champions Final, which happens over on the weekends. If you've completed division rivals, you've completed your Champions Playoff, and the time hasn't come round for you to access the Champions Final, then that's when you need to play in the other game modes. Squad battles, moments, go through friendlies, draft, whatever's there, whatever is available. There is a limit to squad battles of 32 games. However, you can keep on playing after 32 games, you just won't be rewarded with points. Now, it's unlikely most will be able to achieve this every single week, but if you have the time to do so, this is the order. You do not want to go more than what has already been explained. Number 2, not trading. Trading doesn't need to be complicated. There are some very basic and even risk-free trading methods out there that you can use in order to build up your coins. And the thing with trading is that it is the best way to earn coins. With every single match you play, you'll be rewarded anywhere between 500 to 900 coins. That will take you anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. However, you can earn that within just a few minutes when trading, even if it's something as simple as taking a bulk bidding method. To help you out, we've already uploaded a few trading methods to this channel, and we will continue to do so throughout the rest of the year. If you don't enjoy trading, that's fine. However, I will still recommend that you find 1 or 2 basic trading methods that you can use to keep on increasing your coin balance, because it's going to put you much further ahead and you can build towards the teams that you want, where hopefully you find entertainment out of this game. Number 3, not checking objectives. EA will update objectives every couple of days, adding new challenges for you to go through, and these can be incredibly rewarding, but in a lot of cases you need to know what's there in order for you to complete them. Of course, by going through Ultimate Team and just playing, doing the thing that you want to do, naturally you will complete a lot of these challenges, but there will be a lot more which you won't, because it becomes very specific. A certain amount of players within a team from a certain nationality, a certain league, maybe scoring with a player in a certain position, and the list goes on. There's loads of things that they can track, and the only way that you're going to know they're there is for you to go and see. There's also another benefit for you looking at the current objectives which are available, is that you can start to stack them. If you notice that there's one challenge which requires you to score 1 goal with a French player, and then there's another one which tells you to get assists with players from the USA, and you need to have a clean sheet with 3 English defenders, you know that you can start to build an objective team which fits those parameters, so that when you go into your very first game, you're able to start completing these, earning coins from the match itself. Hopefully you're trading in between that match, and also you've now completed the objectives which will reward you with XP, coins, and even packs. And number 4, it's not preparing. There are certain points throughout the year which are just going to happen. Certain promos, certain events, just things that will happen. And EA, being a massive corporation that absolutely loves money, of course they're going to capitalize on these moments and these events. But they're also fairly lazy in that they'll do the same thing over and over and over again. We know that there's going to be stuff during Black Friday within November. We know that there's going to be some sort of festive Christmas promo within December. We know that Team of the Year is going to happen within early January. We'll also know that there'll probably still be an Ultimate Team birthday, which they'll capitalize on. And we also know that there's going to be a Team of the Season. There's actually a full calendar that fans have put together to break down some of the most likely events to happen at certain periods. Knowing this, you're able to prepare either by stacking packs, buying into players, selling players. We know for Team of the Year and Team of the Season that typically we see the largest market drops. Players drop in value so much. So maybe a few weeks or even a month before, you sell off your team and the most expensive players so that you can buy that exact same team back after Team of the Year and after Team of the Season for a fraction of the price. Knowing this is very simple, but just taking action is what most people do not do. That is a mistake. And number 5, it's not investing. Now, this is similar to the preparing side of things and also similar to what we said earlier about not trading. However, investing is slightly different. There are different ways to go about this. There are some people who have access to where they will share it with their community. They'll know exactly what SBC is going to release within the next few hours, in which they'll tell people to buy into certain players because they will increase. Now, I'm not one of those people that get access to these leaks, and I'm not someone that religiously plays Ultimate Team, but I am someone who invests in a different way. It's slightly slower, but still incredibly profitable. And this is with fodder investing, and you can actually put this into a loop. Right now, at the time recording this video, it's the release of EAFC, and player prices are real cheap, especially the undesirable but high rated players. You can get 83s, 84s, 85s, and even some 86s for a very low price. So I buy one of each, store them to my club. I'm also doing the same with Team of the Week players. Now at some points there will be an SBC which requires a rating, and there'll also be SBCs which require Team of the Weeks. When that happens, these players will increase. We've actually got a video on the channel which goes through the full in-depth process of how to invest completely risk-free. So if you're interested in that, there will be a link for that video at the end of this one. And number 6 is trying to reinvent the wheel. This is a mistake that I used to make years ago, and it would actually start before the release of Ultimate Team, in that I would start to build my starter team. It would be a list of players that I liked watching in real life, but the thing is, real life doesn't really have anything to do with Ultimate Team. Just because someone's great in real life doesn't mean they're going to be the case in game. And that is certainly true. So I would find players that I liked, but they would be slow in pace, they wouldn't really have the height, they wouldn't have the work rates in game, and it just never worked. The thing is, Ultimate Team is new every single year, but there's some key principles which always really stay the same. Pace will always be a factor. It's something that is important. It's not the same as what it used to be years ago, where people used to just go and use Muriel, Abarbo, and Royce up front, but it's still a big factor, and it is why there are some high-rated players in game that don't have pace, and they go for a fraction of the price compared to players lower rated than them, but do have pace. There will also be mechanics this year which are simply overpowered. Already, finesse shots from outside the box coming in at an angle is ridiculous. So having someone with a finesse shot tray or the ability to have long shots is going to be something that could pay out big time for you. Trying to find players which you think could be good when in actual fact they're not is not really the best way to do things. Instead, go for the players that you know 100% are going to be good within game, based on their overall stats, their in-game stats, or because there's been loads of people that have already played with them and have said that they're absolutely amazing. And that brings us on to mistake number 7, not joining the various communities out there within Ultimate Team. My focus here on this YouTube channel is really down to trading, highlighting a few mistakes and a few basic tutorials. But there are other creators out there who are absolutely amazing with gameplay, far better than what I could be, in which they're giving tutorials on how to best play within games to dominate, to win most of the time. That's where you want to get gameplay tips from. We also mentioned earlier how there are some people who get access to leaks for Ultimate Team way before anyone else. in which you also want to join those communities. By joining and being a mix between every single one of them, you could improve massively as a player. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn how to invest, which we did talk about within this video, then I highly recommend clicking that video on screen. That video will go through absolutely everything that you need to know about investing and how you can always make profit. So click that and I'll be over there to guide you through absolutely everything.